Hi, everyone. Ernie Anastas here. I want to take a moment to talk to you about something truly special. Shriners Children's. For more than 100 years, they have helped over 1.5 million kids with complex medical issues receive the most amazing care anywhere. Now here's Keshi's journey with Shriners Children's.
Shriners Hospitals for Children gave me back my mobility in every way. I got here in a wheelchair, and 2 years into my treatment, I was ready to go back to school and finish high school.
For the first time, Keshi was able to look up. And we take these things for granted, but he gave her hope. He gave her life back.
Once they realized how much I love music, it became a part of my healing. It became a part of my therapy.
I'm calling on 77 WABC's audience to help provide hope and healing by donating to Shriners Children's. Call 1-800-276-8007. That's 1-800-276-8007. Or go online to loveshriners.org to give.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And joining us now, we have Brandon Judd. He is the former president of the National Border Patrol Council. Brandon, there was a big decision by a U.S. appeals court, as if you don't need really a judge to decide it or a court to decide it. It was in Washington State. And it said that, guess what? The feds have authority, and yes, they are allowed to deport migrants. The locals didn't want to do it. How is this basically a precedent of what's to come to with the Trump administration?
It is, and we're expecting to see that as these cases move up through the court system, as judges actually start looking at the laws and arguing in what the laws actually are. We're seeing more and more. I mean, we saw DAPA shot down years ago. Then we saw DACA shot down. And all of these shieldings, the executive action doesn't have the authority to shield people that are in this country illegally. They just don't have it. And that's what the courts are starting to rule, and we're starting to see that. And by doing that, it opens it up for, federal authorities to take people into custody that are here in the country illegally. And what really makes me sick about that is all you have to do is look at what Secretary Mayorkas said. When he said that just by virtue of being in the country illegally does not warrant an enforcement action, well, that means he's saying that people can freely violate our laws. And if you can do that, that's why you have chaos on the border today.
Yeah, it's amazing what has happened and how many generations it's going to take, even if, say, Trump and Tom Homan are able to really get at, especially the worst of the worst, the criminal migrants. Just in New York City alone, Brandon, they said the other day there's 70,000 that have been convicted of crimes or pending cases. I mean, it's going to take a lifetime to find these people, right?
It is. And that's why you have to secure the border first. Any talk of immigration, anything like that, immigration enforcement, you have to start at the border first. Because if we can stop people from coming in, if we can stop people from getting away, if we can stop people from being released, then we don't have to worry about that. And then we can start, looking at what do we do with the millions of people that are here? How do we handle that? Because we just don't have the resources right now to deal with the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of criminals that are here, let alone those people that are here that have not committed crimes. So, yeah, we have to focus right now on securing the border, ensuring that we don't get back into the same situation again, and then going after the criminals. And once we do that, then you can start looking at where do we focus our next enforcement measures. And that's exactly what Tom's looking at. Tom's looking at secure the border first, go after the criminals, and then once we do that, then we can start looking at where do we go from there.
And Judge Weinberg, you have an interesting perspective. Judge Weinberg's with us, and Ed Cox, and also Rudy Washington, Brandon. And Judge Weinberg, you believe that they shouldn't just be deported, some of the bad folks.
Well, my view, when I had people convicted of crimes who were illegal and subject to deportation, I say let them do their time in jail, and then you deport them. Otherwise, you're just saying, well, you get caught for a crime, and we'll let you out. I always made them do their sentences. Then I would turn them over to ICE.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Brandon Judd, as former head of the union?
Yeah, 100%. Again, what you have to have is you have to have a deterrent. And if people think that they can violate our laws and all that's going to happen is simply being returned to their country, just to turn around and come back again.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. You're encouraging them to be recidivists.
Exactly. So there has to be a consequence for violating our laws. If there's no consequence, then people aren't going to fear. You got to remember, crime always takes the path of least resistance. And if there's no, and crime's all about risk reward. If there's no risk and the reward is great, they're going to continue to do it. So yes, you have to hold people accountable for the crimes that they commit in the United States and then remove them. That way they know if they come back, they're going straight to prison.
Absolutely. They need to know there are consequences. John always says here on the show, I love, immigration, yes, invasion, no. And people need to understand that there are consequences. They can't just come on back, and set the standard. And especially the fact that there's so many with serious crimes. I mean, we're talking murder and rape. It's stunning to see across the country.
The crime rate is down in Venezuela.
Yeah, they're happy.
That's
they're
the
all
good
here.
news. That's the good news.
Yeah.
The bad news is they're here.
Right. Maduro's like, here, come on in. Go to America. Viva America, unfortunately. Thank you very much. Brandon, Judd, thank you. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Good to be with you, Rita. Thank you.
Take advantage of the exclusive holiday offer at Panorama Optical. Enjoy 15% off prescription glasses. And with every $500 spent on glasses, receive a complimentary pair of frames. Absolutely free. Don't miss this limited time deal running until January 1st, 2025. For eyeglasses, contact lenses, and to put your life in focus. Visit 241 Broadway in Lynbrook, New York, or call Panorama Optical at 516-341-0297 to schedule your appointment today. 516-341-0297.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.